Welcome. Tell us a little bit about your experience with green roofs.
Thank you, Judy. We operate an ecological landscape design company, meaning that we incorporate different technologies that help us reduce our negative impact on the environment. And one of those technologies is green roofs. When we decided that we wanted to become installers, we decided to go take a look at some of the systems that existed. And the biggest one that we wanted to see was the California Academy of Sciences roof. Mm-hmm. There are three basic types of roofs. There's extensive and intensive, meaning that there are those that are planted in place, mm-hmm. and those that are modular systems. The California Academy roof was designed by Renzo Piano. It's a very unusual roof.
Yeah, it's
looks like.
I know.
It's like a giant mushroom.
Right. Well, it was designed to look like 7 hillsides. And they had to patent their own system to make that work because it had to handle a slope. Mm-hmm. But our interest was to see how it was operating in terms of it's planted with natives, and there's a lot of pollinators. We also were comparing roofs between, well, do we want to be involved with installing planted in place roofs or modulated systems? So we also went and looked at a system called LiveRoof. But this is more of the California roof. You can see it. There are 7 hillsides. It was made to look like the surrounding area around California, mm-hmm. and San Francisco. This is a tilted sideways view of the module and the different layers of the roof. A lot of intensive systems have different layers as insulation and mm-hmm. drainage board. The main thing is that they had what's called a bio tray, a coconut fiber tray. Mm-hmm. Once that was planted, it would have plants that would spill between, but sometimes you see the edges of those modules. Mm-hmm. So we decided to go see a hybrid system, which is what you're looking at right now is LiveRoof down in Connecticut. Pride's Corner Farms is a regional grower of that system. And the advantage of that system is that it's called a subterranean module. The sides only come up halfway. The other advantage of that particular system is that it has built-in drainage. Mm-hmm. So these are sedum flats that you just set onto a roof, but the advantage is that the roots grow together to form one big monolithic planting.
So some of the things you have to consider too are just, I mean, these are heavy roofs.
Yes, they are. Each module weighs up to 60 pounds. The LiveRoof system is heavy, but the substrate is an expanded shale, mm-hmm. so it drains really fast. So definitely the architecture of a roof has to be engineered specifically to hold the weight.
Now tell us about the major installation that you were involved with.
So we were very fortunate and excited to have been selected to do the installation on the Burlington International Airport. Their new parking garage has a roof on it that was designed by Michael Lawrence. And so we were selected to do the installation, which included almost 4,000 of these modules.
Wow.
It's a big space.
Yeah, I think we have some pictures to show what that looks like.
Yeah. So before we actually installed the roof, we decided, because it was such a big project, we decided to make a little sample. So this is actually at our farm in Addison. We wanted to see what the actual modules would perform, how they'd perform over a period of time before we put in the big roof. So this is the roof on top of our little bus stop for our girls. But it's the exact same modules that were put onto the airport. This is what it looks like now. Well, not right now, but it's blooms, it's really beautiful. It has sort of this intricate keyhole design that kids can run around. But I'll show you what the system was for installing it.
Oh, wow.
This was right after the hardscape was done. The hardscape was done by Stonewall Hardscapes, Josh Goldstein and his crew. And they had really tight tolerances. Mm-hmm. So the stone went in, and then that black that you see is a waffle drainage board. Like I said, there were 3,955 modules. And what was really complex is that they would arrive on 6 trucks over 4 days, and each one, every single flat had an individual number, 1 through 3,900. So they had to go in a very specific order, and they're very heavy. So once they got craned up onto the roof, then we used conveyors to get them to the section of roof where they would lie. and then they would get snapped into place, and then you can see that white piece of plastic. It's called a riser. That once they were set into place, those risers were removed, and it allowed the roots to have soil-to-soil contact, and then the whole thing grows together.
And so it's a great space, and people can go visit?
Yep, anyone can go see the roof. You go up to the airport and park in the parking garage, and then you take the northern tower elevator up, press R to the roof, and it opens up, and there's just a tiny, you might see an occasional weed, but the maintenance is really, really low.
That's beautiful.
It makes a nice green space to go have a picnic or let your kids run around.
And so, Leonard, you mentioned earlier that there are an increasing number of buildings with green roofs, and you actually brought along some photos, too, that you wanted to show.
Yeah, I did, Judy. Just to give a sample, now there are just so many different ones, and I ended up having to pull a lot. But this hopefully gives you a very good sample, and it's amazing when you go around. You should really just look, because you never know where you're going to see a green roof, as I often do. And a lot of people may have seen these. So if we take a look at these pictures, a lot of people may know the Davis Center on the UVM campus. That's actually a green roof you walk over. There are parts underneath there, beautiful grass on the right, ornamental grasses, and on the left you have a nice lawn area. And then just moving on, hospital, that's actually a parking garage there. In the new cancer center actually has a green roof. They actually grow vegetables for the kitchen on top of that. Up in Quebec City, where you park outside the old city, that's a green roof on top of the parking garage, and if you look down on it, you see many types of vegetation, which is just pretty exciting to be able to walk right through that. One of the earliest in the country, started around 2000 in Detroit, Ford Assembly Plant, 10 acres of sedum. And one of the newest ones, New York City Highline Park. It's actually an old rail line, but it's like a roof there. So that's just kind of neat. And then you can be at home on a doghouse. It doesn't have to be big like we just saw.
That's great. Now, Rebecca, if people want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
They can go to our website, which is lindenlandscaping.com. Our farm is down in Addison, but we work all over Chittenden County.
And Leonard, your website too has information?
It does. I have more pictures up there and a lot of links to all these things, perrysperennials.com.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's
Thanks
very
very much.
interesting stuff. That's our program for today. I'm Judy Simpson. We'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.
For a video copy of today's program, call toll-free 1-888-ATF-34.